My name is actually, I have more than one name, but I'll get to explain that shortly. I'm going to do the best I can to explain my story and everything else in between because some of it, if not all of it, is beneficial and extremely important to other people, Muslims, religious people, and even possibly just human beings and other people and life on this planet. Myself, my family, and people that I love. So that sounds really dramatic, but yeah, I'm gonna explain. Okay, just bear with me and listen because um, this is the first time I've gone into this, and this is the first a step on a pathway that needs to be taken. So bear with me. But my name at the moment is Joe or Joseph. When I was born, my name was Yusuf, I believe, which was spelt Yusef, Yusuf. Kadri. I'm half Syrian and half Irish. My mum and that side of my family were born in Dublin, and my birth father, my real father, was from Syria, who I believe now is dead and passed away, but he was named Mohammed Kadri and was a Muslim and owned a wine bar in uh, the town where I was born. Uh, I do want to explain to you where I was born and what the stuff going on there was like because there's a lot of stuff that happened and is happening in that area, but I'll get to that as soon as possible. um, when I was born, my name was Yusuf Kadri. That's where I'm going to start because I was born a Muslim. As I said, my father was from Syria, so when I was born, Yusuf Kadri, I was a Muslim. For reasons that I only partly understand, I was taken away from my birth father and converted to Irish Catholic, and that was from my mother, who is indeed Irish Catholic. My mother grew up in a strict, almost weird Irish Catholic nun school. She had all the teachers were nuns, strict nuns, and for some reason she took me and ran away like a crazy person and changed my name and everything. And for years I was dragged around, um, had my name changed, and lived the life of basically on the run away from what I guess my mother in her head believed to be a threat, or for some reason just decided to kidnap me illegally without telling him, and ran away. And that's what happened. I'll get to the rest of that story as soon as possible, but basically, like I said, I was born a Muslim, and this is about, or I guess like part of the catalyst for me starting this path is for the reason that I now feel like it's time for me to go back to Islam. Uh, I always recently I've believed that I owe it to maybe my dad and my dad's family, and possibly God, that to give Islam another chance, because although it wasn't my fault as such, but I have always felt a connection with Islam, and going back to the beauty of Allah and Islam, and putting God and Allah first, is something I need to do, I think. So I want to talk about that, and as much else as I can, because there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot I can go into. Stuff that I've learned over the years, stuff that I've been through, stuff that I've done wrong, stuff that other people have done wronged me. My life story, stuff that happened when I was young, my family, my work, because I have a few different ventures, but mainly at the moment I feel like the most important thing is me praying and going to the mosque and reading the Quran, and taking the steps to at least start an effort to go back towards Islam, because I think I have a lot to offer to it. There's certain things pulling me in the direction of away from it, and there's certain things pulling me in the direction towards it. But I feel like I feel like Allah wouldn't put the pressure of, like, if I want to step towards Islam again, I can read the Quran, I can listen to the Quran, and quotes and stories and stuff like that on YouTube, and I use the WeChat app. The We Muslim, and I can go and ask other Muslims for advice and help and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I was born a Muslim, which many Asian people and Muslims are. Um, so, although I'm going back to Muslim, because over the years I was converted from Muslim to Christianity, and then from Catholic Christianity to other branches of Christianity. So I was born a Muslim, I was then converted to Catholic, and baptized, christened, christened or baptized. I don't know if you call it christening or baptism, but I believe it was, I believe that was christening, so I was christened. I was then adopted because I wasn't with my father. I was taken away from my father, so I was adopted, and they converted me. They basically raised me within the Methodist Christian setting. Over the years, I've been a Buddhist, Christian, and other religions. I've learned and read and listened about other religions, but I was born a Muslim, and that's where home feels right to me, with Allah. Um, so yeah, that's the introduction, and the basic outline of what's going on and what I'm wanting and what I want to do, what I'm planning to do. It's basically continuation of meditating and spending time talking to and thinking about Allah and Islam and God and reality and creation and nature and the nature of me and other people that I love and the nature of the sins that have been made towards me and around me and things that I've witnessed and uh, things that I've had to do and say and think and over my life and I believe that now's the perfect time for this, and I hope that, and I know that Allah is watching over me and will support me and help me do and say the right things because I think a lot of people will benefit from me doing this and recording it and doing it in the format where I can actually speak and have other people listen to, and I can share this information and thoughts and views with other people because those platforms and outlets are relevant now. And maybe when my birth father Muhammad was alive, and he was a Muslim, I believe he was a Muslim. So yeah, he was a Muslim, but he didn't have, I don't think, the outlets in the sense that he could uh, go on YouTube and be part of like other mosques around the world or make YouTube videos where he can share his prayer and thoughts and um, do video logs and blogs and make accounts and those kind of things. But yeah, I haven't. I mean, this is the first video. I guess you would call it an introduction. So I'm gonna get to everything else at some point or soon along the line, um, which is basically my story, stuff that's happened, stuff that I've done wrong, stuff that I'm interested in, stuff that I've learned, because I have a lot of knowledge, and a lot of it comes from Allah and God and other religions that I've been in or introduced to, because I am a Christian too, which is weird to say that somebody has multiple religions, but that's just the way it happened. I was born a Muslim, but I was taken away and I guess you would say converted to Christianity, which some people are. Some people are born Christian, some people are converted to Christian, but at the end of the day, Islam and Christianity have obvious links. You know, they're both within the title of Abrahamic religions, and they 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 share the same sort of origins, and they're not, you know, too different. So obviously, I'm talking about Islam. I'm going back to Islam. I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I am now once again a Muslim, and I'm I have downloaded the app called We Muslim, which is kind of a really great, actually, social media app for Muslims, designed for Muslims, and which is where you can basically create a profile and record your journey as a Muslim and connect with other Muslims from around the world, and it's really helpful because it's a beautifully made app, and it's like it's beautiful, and it has obviously the recordings of other really beautiful Muslims, like beautiful mosques and places from around the world where people have taken pictures and videos and recorded the views, and like amazing mosques and quotes from their journeys and sharings, and some, amazing, interesting stuff. So I would highly recommend that app, We Muslim, for any Muslims, I guess, if you're starting out like me, or going back to it or whatever. But there's some amazing, beautiful stuff, and you have to see some of it to believe it. So some of the people are obviously really dedicated to the beauty of Islam, and that's one thing over the years that I want to say first is you can't, no matter who you are or what your views are on Islam, you can't. I think it's difficult to turn away from. It's almost like why? Because there's famous people, and there's fairly, I guess you would say, intelligent people that say that Islam, you shouldn't be an or become or you shouldn't be a Muslim because, or you shouldn't believe in Islam because you shouldn't believe in Islam because believing in Islam basically is a bad idea. There's a lot of stigma around Islam, and hostility, I guess, and there's wars and uh, violence and abuse and um, negative aspects that have made these people believe that Islam is not a good idea. And when it was created all these thousands and thousands of years ago, um, I doubt that it was created with any of that in mind. It was created for beauty and for re- real connection with God and Allah. And I mean, some of this stuff isn't just um, relevant now. This has been. I mean, there's been wars fought for the same and different reasons for thousands of years. War isn't something exclusive to Islam or not. It's war is war, and the origins and reasons for each different battle and war are highly debatable. And I think if you want to go into that kind of thing, you need to have a lot of information looked over. For me to say, for example, take the Gulf War, the first Gulf War. For me to discuss the Gulf War, I would need, if I was going to discuss it with somebody and discuss the religious aspects of it, because I'm sure you could say like this, that, and the other for religious reasons or had religious influences, but you need to have all the correct information, and you need to take into account other things and influences and aspects, because some stuff you can't just talk about it without talking about something else. You can't talk about the Gulf War without talking about oil and power and money. You can't talk about the Gulf War without talking about where it started and came from. You can't talk about wars that involve Asian countries and Islam, because looking at the Crusades from like ancient wars that have been fought or battles or even just debates between Christians and Muslims or Muslims and other people, there's so much that you could look at, you need to go over. You can't just say Islam is a war. Islam is a religion that creates or Islam is a religion that encourages war and hostility, because hostility doesn't just come from one place. There needs to be other influences. If there's a lion on the Serengeti and he's having a fight with another lion or a tiger, there's two already, before you even start, there's two elements in that dynamic that you have to consider the approach and direction from both sides to even start to understand what is happening or what has happened or what is going on. Perhaps the tiger stole some food from the lion, which made that lion then turn around and um, attack the tiger, or the other way around. But you have to talk about the nature then of desire and ownership and psychology of those elements, or living people or creatures or animals, because otherwise you're being ignorant. You don't want to start. I mean, I guess everyone has a little bit of ignorance in them in a sense, but you don't want to start from a place of ignorance. You don't want to be like jumping in ignorance first, if you know what I mean. There's no need. Like, what are you going to benefit from being so ignorant? You can't say that tiger is taking the food of the lion and shouldn't do that if you don't know fully what happened there first. So I don't want to say like either way, but I'm going to try and be as clear and as open and honest about everything as I can. There's a lot that's happened over the years, and I guess this is my Salaam Alaikum, and Alhamdulillah, and I'm going to see what I can do. So stay tuned. I love you all, and God is the greatest. Okay.